Hello then everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to make shortcrust pastry, but this is slightly different. This is going to be gluten and dairy free because I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. I need pastry. My husband is gluten free. My daughter is dairy free. So I need to combine the both so we can all actually eat it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make that. It makes a fairly large amount, so if you are going to follow this recipe, feel free to absolutely divide it in 2 and 3, some of it. Okay, right, let's flick the camera so you can see what I am doing. That one. Ooh. There we go. Right, okay, so I'm going to show you the ingredients first. So I have got 225 grams of a plain gluten-free flour. Okay, so that's what I've got there. I have also got this stuff. This is like magic for trying to do gluten-free baking, xanthan gum. I have also got my dairy-free, I'm going to call it butter, but it's not really a butter. Okay, this one is actually this one here. It's a fairly new one to market and it's nice and solid, which is what I want when I'm going to try and make pastry. So that's the butter I'm using today. I have got some sugar, okay, caster sugar, and I have got an egg, and I also have some tap water, cold tap water. Okay, right, so let's move these again so you can see me making the pastry. So flour into the bowl first, and then the xanthan gum, I want 1 teaspoon, so 225 grams of the gluten-free plain flour and 1 teaspoon of the xanthan gum. Okay. A level teaspoon, so there we are. And 1 tablespoon of caster sugar. I've got golden caster sugar. It's a slightly more caramelly sort of taste, but white caster sugar is absolutely fine. So this is a sweet shortcrust pastry. I'm going to use it to make a pumpkin pie, so I want a sweetened version. Now I'm just going to give that a very quick mix before I put in any other ingredients. There we go. Right, so next, the butter. So exactly the same as if you're making normal, so not gluten-free shortcrust pastry. I need to rub it in using my fingertips, okay? I apologise, I'll show you now. My hands are filthy. I've been carving the pumpkins with my daughters and they drew their designs on with a felt tip pen and my hands are black, I promise. I have washed them. Right, okay, so fingertips, and you are rubbing the butter into the flour. I should really be using a larger bowl, but I went and put all the pumpkin flesh from the carved pumpkins into my larger bowl, so I've got this smaller one, so no doubt I will make a mess. So this is going to take me slightly longer to rub in than if I was doing a pastry using the non-dairy free butter, simply because this Flora Plant Butter, it seems to be quite hard, which is what I want for this pastry. I don't want the really soft stuff, but it does mean I need to be working a little bit harder. So this was called the rubbing in method. That's quite a large chunk. Literally picking the flour and butter mixture up and rubbing between my fingertips. And yes, I am making an absolute mess. Be patient, don't be tempted to leave really large chunks of butter in there. If you're watching this and you're thinking, but I don't want to make gluten-free, I want to make normal pastry, remember I do have another video on the channel, the YouTube channel, which will show you how to do that. But there are quite a few of us in the school now, well, everywhere now. There's loads and loads of people that need or wish to have gluten-free diets. So if you're one of those, this is for you. Nearly there. So the texture should look quite sandy. A couple of large lumps just to go, then we are ready for the next step. I really need to buy another large mixing bowl. Whoops. Right, I think that should do it. If I go much more, I can feel the butter is starting to melt, which is what I do not want. Right, so next, this is going to be slightly different to making standard pastry as well. So I'm going to move this out of the way. So in here, I want an egg. There we go. Put that straight in the bin. And then I want to put 1 teaspoon of water. So I'm going to go the half teaspoon is easier. 1, 2. This is going to be my liquid content to bring that flour together to make the pastry. So with a fork, I'm just going to beat those two together. Right, so now I'm going to put a bit of this in at a time. I might not need the whole lot, but I only need to add enough of this egg and water mixture in order to bring this together to make the pastry. Much the same as when we're making standard pastry, standard short crust pastry, you only add enough cold water to bring this together. You don't go over, okay? So the reason I'm using egg is gluten is a protein strand. We don't have that inside this pastry, with it being gluten-free. I want to replace the action that gluten would normally have inside the pastry. So I'm replacing it with egg, which is very, very similar. So you can see I'm mixing it in, a bit at a time. Hopefully not making more mess than I have already. A little bit more. That's starting to clump together quite well now. Don't think it's quite enough. Got just a tiny bit more. I'm not going to put it all in, just a little bit. Then use my hands to bring it together. Okay. Let's have a look. Oops. Okay, so you can see. Let me move it this way a bit. Move the egg out of the way. There we go. So you can see that's the pastry. I've still got quite a bit in the bowl. So push it in as well. If it was still too crumbly, I would put just a little bit more egg in there, but I am quite happy with that because it's pressing together quite well. So I didn't end up using all the egg and water mixture, but that's okay. Don't feel you have to use it just because it's there. So there we are. So exactly the same now as if I was making standard short crust pastry. This needs to go into the fridge to rest for at least 30 minutes. So I'm going to pop it back in this bowl into the fridge, and in 30 minutes time, I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to use it as the pastry case for a pumpkin pie, and that will be another video that you can watch on the channel as well. Okay, thank you.